Hello and good morning to all of you who have joined us today for this particular session. The topic for today's session is innovating the future of medical representative. And this is something we have organized for you based on the feedback that we have got, based on the opinion poll which we have done recently. So this is the one which our people wanted to really hear from the experts. So while we were actually looking for the speakers on this particular topic, I was strongly recommended two people to be a part of this particular session, and we have successfully managed to get them for you for today's session. The session starts now, and we are here to welcome you for this particular session. So before we start this particular session, I would like to know a little bit about you, and for which you please have to put in your location and the background in the chat. Please put in your name, location, and the background in the chat. Thank you. Team, is the chat open for all? Are they able to respond? Okay, great. Amaninder, thank you so much for joining, sir. I follow your LinkedIn post very regularly. Thank you so much for joining in. Dipoy from Bangalore, Bikram from Mumbai. Okay, welcome Bikram. Surya from Hyderabad. Ashwin is joined from Zuvantis. Welcome, Ashwin. Thank you for joining in. We have Lavkush Pal from Mumbai. Welcome, Lavkush. Rajesh from Hyderabad, Abhinendra. Okay, welcome, Abhinendra. Karishma from Mumbai. Welcome, Karishma. Venki from Hyderabad. Okay. We have got many people joining in. I think normally, based on our previous experience, that we have been doing this webinar every month. This is the 7th month that we are doing this particular activity. We started off in the calendar year, which is January 2024. And we have got so many speakers which we have presented to our community of pharma marketing people, as well as people from the education background. And we've got immense good feedback about the webinars and the quality of speakers that we keep getting it for you. And thank you so much for your introduction. Anirban from Kolkata. Hi, Anirban. Great. So thank you so much for your introduction. And I would like to tell you what are the benefits that you will be getting being a part of this particular webinar today with us for 1 hour, 15 minutes. There are certain benefits which will come during the course of the webinar and at the end of the webinar. So I would request everyone to be a part of this particular webinar. Be attentive, because they are definitely gifts that we would like to give it to you. And this will be purely based on the discussions, interactions that we are going to have with our speakers today. So what are the benefits that you get being a part of the webinar? Let me open the curtain for you. And this is, first of all, what exactly is the future unfolding for us? We have been seeing that technology is coming in our day-to-day life, but medical rep is one area where we wanted the expert to tell what exactly they feel the future is going to come. So there is a lot of insights which is going to come from our speakers. I will be doing the introduction of the speakers shortly. Second benefit is the availability. We understand that there is a challenge with regard to quality and quantity of the medical reps which will be available to the industry in the coming future. It is a big challenge, and we will deep dive into the discussion how industry is getting prepared to face this particular challenge. Third most is the aspiration. How pharma industry is making this particular role exciting for the next generation, for the new generation, the Gen Z, to be a part of this particular man force. The fourth benefit is artificial intelligence or technology. How exactly artificial intelligence will enable or disable the medical rep in the coming future. So these are the 4 benefits, but I have promised you 5 benefits. So I would like to share you additional 2 more benefits for you. So it comes to 6 benefits. Are you ready? Yes. So this is something which we would like to give it to you. There is an ebook which we are releasing for the first time. And the ebook is called The Future Role of Medical Rep in India. And this particular book has been crafted from the feedback that we have received from the industry, participating in a lot of conferences, where we have seen what exactly is happening not only in India but also in the advanced countries like US, Australia, Africa, and other places. During the entire course of the webinar, we'll be having three contests. And in the three contests, we'll be giving an opportunity for you to participate, give your responses, and the person who gives the right response and the fastest response will get a chance to win Amazon e-vouchers worth 500 rupees. So why we are doing what we are doing? So why we are doing? Because we, one, wanted to be selfish in terms of gaining insights from the industry leaders. We wanted to be future ready. We wanted to contribute to the community in terms of what exactly the future is unfolding for us. So that is the pure intent of doing this particular webinar. We are not having any sales pitch for you today, and we are going to just share insights from our experts. So a little introduction from my side. This is me. Yes, I have my hobbies, which is cycling, dancing, and reading. So this, which I have developed over a decade, and I am consistent in doing the same. I've done my MBA Marketing Communication from Symbiosis Institute of Business Marketing, which was in 2004. I have traveled a journey from being an employee to an employer. I have seen verticals like IT, telecom, and now in pharma for more than a decade. And I have seen companies in India as well as internationally, be it Middle East, Africa. And I am blessed to be recognized by Business World 40 under 40 in the healthcare. That was in 2021. Currently, I hold the position of being the founder and the CEO of Medgini, which was started by me in 2012. And I have managed to make it profitable in 2 years. In my personal world, I have my beautiful wife, my parents, and my two sons. So, this is my introduction. And if you are excited to learn more about our speakers, please put in speakers intro in the chat. And I would like to introduce our two great speakers who are coming to you to talk to us about what exactly is the future of medical representative for the India pharma industry. Please put in the chat speakers intro. And I would like to introduce my speakers for today's session. This session is scheduled to be there with us until 1:15, and it's going to be purely interactive. There is no PPT, there is no GYAN. This is only GYAN which is coming from the experience from the speakers who are going to join us for this particular knowledgeful session. Yes, thank you so much, Venki, Surya. And here, without any delay, I would like to go ahead and introduce our speakers. Our speaker, Goldie Pardesi. Welcome, Goldie. And thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Goldie, I have been knowing Goldie from the time that he was in GSK as well as in Dr. Reddy Labs. He is a close friend of mine. He has more than 17 years of experience working across various specialties, be it consumer care as well as dermatology. He's worked in Indian pharma companies as well as MNCs like Abbott, GSK, and he has a proven record of doing only two things. One, defining the strategy and ensuring there is a growth in what exactly he is doing. He holds a senior position in Alembic Pharmaceuticals today. He holds also a master's in pharmaceutical science and MBA from University of Mumbai. Thank you and welcome, Goldie, for being
Thanks,
a part of
Ashish.
this session today.
Thank you, Ashish. It's a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So, this next speaker for today's session is Mainak Mukherjee. Mainak is from Sun Pharmaceuticals, and he comes with the experience of starting his career as a medical rep. This is what I gained as an insight, not from LinkedIn, but meeting him in my visit last week when I was there in Mumbai, where he told that I have started my career as a medical rep. And I was totally happy that I have someone who is going to talk about something what he has always been. So I'm really excited to introduce, and it's a privilege to introduce Mainak. Mainak holds a senior position in Sun Pharmaceuticals. He has 14 years of experience in Abbott. He is also holding an executive MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, and he is certified in programmatic buying and market automation, Facebook marketing, as well as SEO. So, welcome, Mainak. Can we have you on camera, please?
Thank you so much. Ashish, yes, camera is also I will switch on.
Sure.
Is it? Uh, can you see
Yeah,
me?
there is the voice is a little disturbing from your side, man. Can you please?
Can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Yeah, thank you so much. Loud and clear.
Yeah.
You may have to set your speakers. I guess there is some disturbance which is coming.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, perfect, sir. Perfect. Great. So let me give you an introduction of what exactly we are going to talk about today. The future of medical representative. The future of medical representative. I did my little research in terms of how many medical representatives are there in India. So as per the data, it is about 15 lakhs medical representative are there in the industry across various verticals, be it the Indian pharma industry or the device companies. And there is definitely a gap when we talk about the medical representatives. When I talk about the gap, there are two regions. One is urban as well as the rural. In the urban, we have seen there is a concentration of more than 60% medical representatives concentrated in being in the urban areas. When we talk about the skill advancement, there is only 40% of the companies, be it small or big, who focus on doing training and development for the medical representatives. Otherwise, it is all left on the field that they learn what exactly their seniors are doing and they learn the hard way. So this is what the current state of affair is. When I was talking to one of my customer from JB Chemical, and I asked him what exactly is the major challenge, he says the major challenge in the Indian pharma industry is that nobody would like to be a medical rep. There is no aspiration for the young generation to be a medical rep, and there is no role model for a person to be a medical rep. And this is something which really shocked me. And I wanted to pick this particular topic today to my speakers. And there is definitely a structure of the discussion that we are going to have today. And there is last thing which I wanted to share with you, that only with regard to technology, there is only 40% of the companies in the Indian pharma industry who are leveraging data analytics and strategic decision making for better performance of the medical reps. So there is some things that a company is also supposed to gear up, and there are certain things which opens as a challenge towards us, and we would like to give a structure to the entire discussion today. And here is what I asked my customer in terms of what exactly a medical rep does. He said medical rep does a lot of things, and it took about 20 minutes for him to explain me his roles and responsibilities. He said he's the guy who actually doesn't have any time. He starts his day when exactly he wants to start his day, but he ends the day when the doctor wants him to end the day. He meets the doctors, he meets the chemist, he executes all the campaigns which are being designed by the head office. He gets the prescription, he does the detailing, he does sample distribution, he does joint field visits for the head office. He achieves the targets. He do the RCPA, he adapts to technologies, to whatever application the head office wants him to do. He gets the market insights. He also gets the marketing competition information. He manages the inventory. He manages the distributors, the channel partners. He is the person who is the first person to launch the product in the market. When there is a crisis situation, the drug recall responsibility also lies with the medical rep. He is the person who invites the doctors in knowledge sessions like CME programs. He is the person to actually celebrate on the field special days for doctors. He does the online reporting. He does product availability. So, because of the time, I am not able to share all the discussion which I had with my customer, but this is something which a medical rep is currently doing. So, the first question to you, Menakji, is you have been a medical rep. This is something which I could just get at a very high level with regard to what exactly the medical rep does. What do you feel that the roles and responsibilities with regard to these functions will not be present in the days to come? I mean, I talk about days which you talk about 3 years, 5 years down the line. What are the things you feel that the medical rep will not be doing?
Fundamentally, what I can think over here, The amount of time they do spend at the retail level to get the insight, how much product they are moving. If with a good level of automation and data integrity, they can save their time from there. But life, I do not see even in any near future, they will not be meeting healthcare professionals. They will not be having discussions with them. I think the lower part of it, inventory management, channel management, with the invention of AI and better data management, everything can be get away with. Uh, Inviting doctors for the CME, at least a part of it can be managed through digital way. Um, and what is more important, Ashish, over here, that everything can be done in a virtual way. If I look at it, celebrating birthdays, celebrating special days, and maybe reporting can be automated if you make a geotagging, and everything is possible. But wherever there is a human touch, wherever there is an one-to-one interaction, that will not be replaced. Maybe later on I will explain you why during the journey of this discussion.
Perfect. So you have made a very strong point, Manak, that everything can be replaced with help of technology, but what cannot be replaced is human touch and relationship. That relationship requires a face-to-face interaction, and this definitely cannot be replaced with technology or artificial intelligence or machine learning. I would like to know hear from Goldie. Goldie, what exactly is your take on this? What are the things that you feel will not be existing for 3 or 5 years from now?
So, hi Ashish and hi my
Right.
audience. Hi to Mayank. So, Ashish, I think what Mayank rightly said, I think more or less, I think a job of a medical rep in an enhanced version from 3 years or 5 years, I think it would be more or less similar to what you have just projected. I think only the time allocation and the data what is generated from an accuracy point of view, from a easiness point of view, from enabling him with lot of technology, I think that would predominantly change. Otherwise, I think whatever you have put, I still feel that more or less he is the first person from a pharma company to do whatever you have put up. And I'm sure that each and every information what is put up on the slide is very core for a business. So I don't think that any of this would be for a medical rep to really drop point of view. But over the years, it will further enhanced with the help of a data and technology. That should be my take.
Wonderful. So both the speakers feel data and technology will definitely play a predominant role in what exactly the MR is doing. Data and technology will only enable the MR to do his job better, will not replace the MR, but will only help him do his job better. So this is what I understand from Goldie and Manan. Thank you so much for giving that perspective to us. And you coming from the field, I really can resonate with what exactly you feel the MR does, and definitely it's the main person from any pharma industry to take your products to the market. Right. With that, we would like to give a structure to this particular presentation. And we are having 3 topics that we are going to talk today. And these are basically 6 questions that I would like to ask our speakers, Goldie and Menak. So the 3 sections which we are talking about today is 1, availability, 2, aspiration, and 3, artificial intelligence. So I understand that there's many things which we would like to discuss. We'd like to take inputs from the speakers because of the paucity of time and the research which my team has done. They have felt that we have to ask something which is very, very important for us to understand. And yes, the speakers are also available to us, and they will be more than happy to take your particular questions end of this particular session. And we will be closing this session around 1 o'clock, but we'll be having the speakers share their perspective to whatever you have asking us today. So first, very important is the availability of medical rep. So this was something which really cropped my mind when I met one of the small pharma companies, and he shared with me that he is struggling to get a medical rep 43 of his geographies. So he operates only in 3 of the geographies, and he says, "Yeah, I don't get medical reps. Can you help me on that?" So the same problem lies with many large pharma companies as well. So the first question which is coming to Goldie is, how can we bridge the gap between the current availability of the medical reps and the industry future demands? I'm sure the future, the number of companies will exist in the Indian pharma industry will not go down, may go up. The number of people which are required for doing this particular job as a medical rep will not decrease but increase. So, how exactly is the industry gearing up with regard to this gap of people being available to you? Goldie, please help us get a perspective on this.
So, Mayank, I think with respect to the availability part, I think prior to my experience of Alembic, I think whether it was a GSK, whether it was Abbott or Dr. Reddy's or Cipla, I think Alembic is an organization which is totally different, I think, from a perspective of availability. I think many people would not know, but 100% of Alembic field force, which is a medical rep, they are freshers. 100%, I'm saying. 100% of the field force of medical Alembic is freshers. I think that's the way organization is built up. I think at a given point of time, I'm sure the Alembic field force would be roughly close to about 2-3,000 in numbers, or more than that if we put up all the divisions put together. And the initiation of this is a pressure for Alembic. Now, if Alembic as an organization, which is about a 100-year-old organization, can do this, I'm sure the other organizations can also do this. So I would just say, like some of the frameworks, I think what in which we look at this way. Like one important thing is from an Alembic point of view, we spend a lot of times in recruiting or identifying these talents from campuses. So when I see campuses, we definitely do not go into the campuses which are the premium or a tier one, tier two kind of campuses, because there is a lot of data which supports that once you go to this tier one, tier two, or a premium institutes, of course the attrition rates are significantly higher. So from a campus point of view, of course, it's barring a premium or a tier one, tier two. We also go to a tier three, tier four institutes, a lot of pharmacy colleges, a lot of BSc colleges, which the team HR moves in, where we really get a good people on board. Before recruiting the people, I think the another thing what we do as an organization is about conducting or for potential candidates, conducting a short course of training or a briefing session so that the understanding of the job itself is at a higher level before they say yes, which again helps in terms of reducing the attrition. That's the second time. Wait. The third thing which is there, I think the availability part, when we look from an industry point of view, although we have some biasness in terms of as an industry that a female medical rep would not be really we should look forward because of she being a lady or she being a female, and based on the maternity and future perspectives, we generally as an industry do not really prefer. If you look at the industry count from availability of male to female ratio, it would not be even 10%. Now, I give you a interesting example on that. When I was in DRM, I think, and since I was into a specialty which is dermatology or a cosmetology aesthetics, so I think a role of a female representative is very crucial there. And I think I really take a proud in saying that we launched one division, which is an aesthetic division, and in DRL about 3 years back, and the entire 40 across India, all were females. So this is the first time in pharma industry that a division was launched with 40 medical reps, all females across India. So of course, it took a lot of time for us to recruit and select, but I think that's how we did it. So I think the availability part, in respect to the demand, I think if you can really segregate this and if you put up a process, as I said about a campus placement, as I said about giving a chance to a female population, I'm sure this is going to be a easy process for us. Of course, apart from, I think one more thing from an availability point of view, I can say is the tag of a medical representative itself nowadays, because of the social media and everybody likes to be up and saying. So I think somewhere the tag itself is one of the factor where the people are not really coming forward. That I don't want to become a medical rep, because when I started a medical rep about 18 years or 20 years back, I think that was one of the pride moment that कि ठीक है मेडिकल रेप बनते हैं, देखते हैं क्या फील्ड में हो रहा है. But I think no longer that kind of a pride is people are associating with the medical rep as compared to the other fancy designations what the other industry provide, whether it's a telecom, whether it's IT, whether it is banking or anyways, right? So I think from that perspective also there is a something what a pharma companies can look forward. The another thing, like for from availability point of view, Ashish, is about there was a lot of inflow of a B Farm graduates, which was there, a BSc graduates, which was there. Now, because of the lack of a B Farm graduate or a BSc graduate, pharma people have started recruiting a arts graduate, a D Farm graduate, a commerce graduate. So I think, of course, the pharma company can train them and they make them quite this thing for their future. But I think when we see the attrition data and we see the overall progress, I think these individuals definitely drop in between, and I think we lose them out. So I think the role pitch of a job versus a career, I think that's where the industry lacks, because no one gives them a clarity that, or the success stories. Like if you ask my success story or my success stories or anybody who has up in the ladder from pharma, I'm sure most of them have started from a medical rep. I think the aspiration towards the field from a pharmacy college or a BSc college or this thing, which is not been totally sold to the people, that from a medical rep you can still become an MD of a company. From a medical rep you can still become a president of a company. Because I'm sure about 80 to 90% of the people working in pharma in whichever cadre, they started their journey from medical rep. So sharing the success, sharing the growth graph for the future medical reps, I think that's not happening. It's not about the career which has been sold, it's about the job which has been sold in the market. I think if we plug these three, four areas, I'm sure there is a lot of availability, a lot of talent, a lot of aspirations which the industry can bank on.
So I think, Goldie, I am a little surprised after talking to you, because I always, as a person, I was in the impression that large pharma companies like Alembic, Sun Pharma, they go to the best of the best institutes. They recruit people with experience. And you have changed the dimension of my thought process, saying that we don't go to the premium institutes, we go to the tier two, tier three institutes, and we recruit freshers and train them to be their best. So this is something which is a change in the thought process, which a small pharma company also keeps blaming him, saying that we don't get the best resources because the best resources are already taken by the big pharma companies. And the big pharma companies are interested to take someone who is very raw and train them to the next level, which is totally mind blowing for me. Menak, what do you feel about this particular question, which is actually bridging up as a challenge for the Indian pharma industry? Your thoughts on this?
Thanks, Ashish. First of all, it's a beautiful question. And I want to confess one thing, Ashish. When I saw this tag on the screen, I thought you were talking about availability of our products. And when I realized it's about medical reps, uh, it took me aback. And but before I answer, I want to really thank Mr. Goldie over here. Such a beautiful perspective this leader has brought on the table. And just like you, Ashish, I was feeling very emotional when he said that 100% of the field force are fresher, and they have also launched a team which is all women. I mean, uh, why? If you are wondering why I'm being very emotional about it, because somebody like this long back gave a chance to a person called Moinak Mukherjee when he was a fresher, and maybe that is why today I could provide so much to my family. Uh, Somebody like this company will give an opportunity to my daughter. I have one son, one daughter. They are both are in 12th standard right now. They are twin babies. So thinking like this from such great leaders makes world a better place. So, Mr. Goldie, my sincere congratulations and my compliments to you
Thanks,
and your
thanks, man. Thank you.
thank you. First of all, Ashish, I want to make a disclaimer. Whatever Mr. Goldie has said over here, I completely agree with those observations. So many of this I will not going to repeat because I do agree. I want I can bring in perspective why the availability could be a problem and maybe an apparent problem in recent time compared to when I started 24 years back in this industry is that uh, so when I walked in a company called Eli Lilly, there were they were interviewing for 6 openings in an hotel called Hotel Radin in Kolkata, and there were 2,500 applications they were been sorting out. And those times, people has a very good process of uh, group discussion, elimination process. Selection is later. First, they will eliminate so many of them so that they can actually take some from them to make those 6 vacancies fulfilled. I mean, I was wondering who are those? Why they are not available right now? But you know already what happened. I mean, sorry, Mr. Ashish, what happened over here the last 15, 20 years. There's a boom in the industry in the form of insurance, banking, credit card, and they all look for salesman. And unfortunately, this industry's large chunk of companies made this medical representative job as a salesman job. That is where uh, we have started competing with all those job roles. I would like to second the thought of Mr. Goldie over here. Eh, If you do not tag the real purpose with this job, this is this job will not so attractive to anybody. Every salesman can sell. I'm sorry, I'm taking names over here. They can say choose to sell, and maybe I'll not take names. Cold drinks. They can choose to sell cigarettes. And if they join some big companies like ITC, they will get twice the package. When I started, I never knew, to be very honest, I will make this position. I was very happy if I could become an area manager. I became managers, people's manager. I'd have been very happy. But I was always very proud. I'm making difference in people's lives. I was the soul and whole purpose. I just need to just give me a second, just a second.
And yes, we are also getting some interesting messages in the chat. We will definitely be more than happy to take this. Please be there with us till the end of the sessions. And speakers have promised me that they will be there with us and they will be more than happy to interact with you. So this is something which we would personally request you to be there with us. And please park in your particular questions in the chat, and we will be more than happy to take it to the speakers. Yeah,
Right.
to you.
What I was saying, and I always felt very proud that the change what I can bring to this industry, and maybe that kind of pride, that kind of commitment pushed me to enjoy a very demanding role of medical representative. I mean, I can guarantee you, Ashish, in spite of you have working so closely on this subject, you do not have any idea how demanding it can be. Or maybe you have, I do not know. Let me ask you a question. Do you know there are some doctors who demands to place an appointment card at the 4 a.m. in the morning? 4 a.m. You have ideas?
Yes, yes.
I know surgeons who meet at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. That's a meeting time. I used to wait for a surgeon for 4 hours for that medical for one call because he will not allow you after you place your card to leave his chamber. He will take it as an insult.
That's why
Okay.
we feel that there is no timing for a MR to do his job. So,
It's not about more timing. It's about the control over time, Ashish. These are two very different concepts.
correct.
I could never promise to my fiance at that time that I will be able to meet for sure on that day, or I will be able to present on that dinner for sure. There is nothing for sure. It's always you had to manage. So if you ask an army to judge your job with the amount of money you earn, he can never justify it. The same with medical rep because they are working for a community of human beings who are dependent on them to give the right information. If so, Ashish, you have to think about it this way. Not every doctor will be so well informed for every medicine and every medicine. One innocent mistake or one lie from a medical rep to a medical practitioner and getting prescribed a wrong medicine to a wrong person can be a matter of life and death. But what happens if as an the range is very broad from a very good medical rep to a very commonplace medical rep, the range is so huge, it's not comprehensible. A very good medical rep is a something like that on whom the doctor will depend. Ki, please tell me how should I use this particular device or how should I use this particular medicine. To a very commonplace medical rep will depend, sir, you know this molecule, this is my brand name, please prescribe. If you don't, I will lose my job. I would personally think the lowest form of about this job. And there's a great deal falls in between. Now, if medical rep cracks more than medical rep, if the training departments, if the company can figure out how this lower end of skill set can be pushed to the extremely upper end of the skill set, there that will give you part of a new problem. There'll be so many people will be available to become leadership position that you have to really pick and choose. While there's a dark of that level, a very few people make that cut from medical rep to the leadership position in the hierarchy. But that making that cut is very easy, very easy. Maybe I will explain that's later part of my discussion. But my take is that 2 points to be take to summarize. This bust of insurance, credit cards, financials company do compete with that pool over there. And secondly, I will second with Mr. Goldie that the imagery attached to the medical rep is so frivolous, and as an industry did not do a good job to that. It that might not be able to. So, अगर कोई credit card company में भी काम करता है ना आशीष, if you ask them why you are working, I work for a bank. Which bank? HDFC, ICICI. People don't go to detail. Nobody tells you I work for Sun. They will tell you, okay, sales rep, and they have a problem. They have seen waiting patients do look, give them a disturbed look. Oh, again one medical rep. Now I'll be delayed. So there are days they don't feel good about it, about their job role. They do see resistance from the waiting patients, and sometimes some receptionist may be very rude. Some doctors can also be very rude sometimes. It's not uncommon in the industry.
True.
So we have to train them how to maintain your dignity, how to make the other person feel like that you will be at loss if you do not hear me. and how you have to prepare yourself to get that kind of imagery in the world. And then it will be one of the toughest but best job available. Personally,
Great.
I can prove it with my logic also as the best job.
Perfect. So, I think yes, we've got a good perspective, Menon. So the biggest point what you are making here is a medical rep is not just a sales guy. His moral responsibility is to give the right information to the doctor so the doctor can do his work the right way because he's playing with the lives. And definitely a medical rep job is much more than a sales guy, right? So though we have sales targets which are assigned to him, the second question which I wanted to ask to my speakers is what initiatives can be implemented to ensure consistent quality of the medical rep? So we are aware that there is a gap with regard to the medical reps being available to the Indian pharma industry because of the other industries like banking, telecom, and the medical reps that you are currently having. What exactly is the industry doing to ensure that the quality keeps going higher and upper? So, Goldie, over to you. Please give us your perspective.
So I think with respect to quality, Ashish, I think as I mentioned, before we recruit a medical rep, I think from there itself the quality starts. I think now, if I do not know that what is there in this job is all about, I think there itself we compromise the quality of people who are coming into the industry. Now, that's the reason I told that whenever the Olympics, I think, recruits anything from a campus, they provide orientation sessions beforehand. One day prior, the orientation session happens. And in this orientation session, I think a lot of emphasis is given on what is the role of a medical rep, what they have to do, what is the career aspiration, or what hardship it goes through. Or so whatever happens in of a medical rep, I think that picture itself is very clear in the orientation programs, and which gives a clarity for the aspirant to really choose that I want to be associated with this profession because this is the picture what this profession will give me. I think there itself a lot of people who are really not interested just segregates or segmented out so that we do not end up those people who do not have a job and just take it from a job perspective or चलो अभी job मिल रहा है ले लेते हैं बाद में देखा जाएगा. So I think that is where it's the start. Second, I think the most important point is I think many organizations, of course, provide the training to the medical rep. But I think the gap of training of any organization, whether it is the organization what I have worked upon or what comes to my mind, is minimum about 30 days to 60 days or 90 days. I think after the recruitment happens. All right. So of course there is some maybe a couple of induction session from an area manager or a regional manager or a hand holding for a couple of days. But I think on ground he is like totally not really trained upon as we train for a skill jobs in the industry, right? So he's just left out on the field. I think that gap needs to be really plug in. The moment the medical rep joins, I think there has to be an induction session of whatever 7 days, 10 days, 12 days, whatever it is, at the beginning itself before he really goes to the field, which definitely gives a lot of clarity to that people, improves the quality of the medical rep itself before he goes to the field, which really gets impacted in the output what he does delivers, whether his liking for the job, his understanding of the job, his everything. So I think that's a very important point. That what is the time gap in terms of we recruiting the people and he actually gets the training. That's the second point. I think apart from the skill set, apart from the doctor detailing, apart from the product detailing, I think a lot of emphasis should also look at the channel management, how to look at the stockist, how to approach a stockist, how to approach a chemist, and because many of the training modules, of course, they cover this, but I think not in detail, because there is where the actual hardship comes from a medical rep, to ensure the quality of medical rep goes up. Because a doctor will not treat this medical rep in a different way, because at the reason doctor understands कि अरे medical rep आया है नया आया है ठीक है, but a chemist or a stockist will treat that medical rep in a totally different way altogether. So that's where the confidence of a medical rep loses, and that's where he feels that this job is like no use for me. I think the channel management training, the other softer aspects apart from his job, because every company does a training of product detailing, how to open a call, how to close a call, and whatnot. But I think the channel management also is very, very important. I think that's where the more time needs to be talked about. Other apart from that, I think from a consistent quality point of view, I think. The role of a manager, I think it's very, very super critical, because today the role of the manager itself is so high, right? He really doesn't get a time to train his people, because at any given point of time he is working on maybe a 10 deadlines for a day. Something PMT will tell, something his sales manager will tell, something his stockist will tell, or some or other thing. So the involvement of him as a mentor, as a point of view, really goes down. So he just ticks mark this as a formality that a new medical rep has joined and I need to do a JCC for him with 2 days. That's it. So what he actually does in his JCC, because of the other priorities what we had, takes a back seat. And that's where the hand holding and the quality of a medical rep deteriorates. So I think if we plug these 3, 4 points at the beginning, Ashish, I'm sure that the quality and the consistency of the medical rep would be far greater.
Great. So I think very valid points we have got from Goldie. Thank you so much for your perspective. And with that, we would like to end the first 1/3 of this particular session. We have a contest which is now coming up for our participants. And this is something which we have been discussing with our speakers. And we would like now you to be very active. And this is the second. Before that, I would like to definitely acknowledge the institutes which are doing remarkable work in terms of supplying industry ready people, and some of the institutes we have seen it over here, and they are doing remarkable work. So I would like to acknowledge the work that they are doing. And some of the institutes like Naipa, Hyderabad, we have been working in terms of getting resources which are definitely of good quality. So I really appreciate the work which is being done by the institutes here. And this is the time for you to be a part of the contest. And the contest, the first question coming your way to my participants is, how can pharma companies ensure the medical rep meet the expected quality standards? So there are 3, 4 options which are given to you. Please scan the QR code, or if you have problem in scanning the QR code, there is a link which is coming in the chat. Yes, Surya, do we have the link coming in the chat? And yes, thank you so much. And please click on that particular link, put your name, mobile number, and answer to that particular question. And if you are the fastest to give the correct answer, you get a chance to win the Amazon voucher. You have got 1 minute to be a part of this contest. And once you are done, you please type in done in the chat, and the time starts now. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for your response, Vivek, Karishma, Amninder, Vijay, Raj, as well as Ashwin. Thank you so much for your response. We'll be moving a little fast forward because of the paucity of time. We really want our viewers to ask questions to our particular speakers, and we'll be going for the next session. Thank you so much. The next is aspirations. We have been talking a lot about aspirations for every industry. There is people who are really aspiring for different roles. And definitely we are there in the Indian pharma industry where we don't have any role model for the next generation, for them to be really excited to be of the part of the Indian pharma industry. So the question is coming to Mayank, and the question is, what strategies can be employed to make role of a medical rep more appealing and aspiring for the Gen Z?
The first thing, so Ashish, let me start a little bit slow on this. Let's understand what Gen Z will appreciate most. They will appreciate flexibility. They will appreciate high speed, high reward, and they will also appreciate uh, that their free flowing ideas being heard and being implemented. So, if you look at this job of medical rep, this in a pure play form, this job can offer all of these things to be implemented. Now the problem lies when industry will ask for most of the time about hard parameter of your hard skill like call average, sales achievement, numbers, and they do not discuss at all about efforts or soft skill. It is very difficult to attract Gen Z. So, in a country like India, Ashish, it is very difficult to get immediately tagged your efforts into results. It is the market is not fully organized. So, if as an industry, if we do not give due credit for the genuine efforts made, and if we do not believe in that, if you are on the right path of your efforts, it will get your result. Uh, then we are not doing the right thing because if you ask me correctly, that there are many shortcuts ways this industry can do achieve results in a short term, which will definitely push away any good talent from this particular job. So what needs to be done for this if you want? In the training module itself, which is very today very much heavily loaded towards the product knowledge and the product description and the scientific part of it, I think a little bit of skill set what we used to learn after a couple of years of our experience should be implemented from the very beginning, because ultimately it's a selling, and selling as a skill is a psychological phenomena, and uh, none of the pharma industry stalwarts are including human psychology, how it should be utilized for a better sales result. If you use this kind of exposure little bit early in the training and a little bit early in your modules, there'll be twofold benefits, Ashish. One, more and more intelligent people will be attracted towards this job because that job glamour will increase. Of course, maybe the pay scale will go also higher because if you have to attract good talent, the pay scale has to be a little bit jacked up over here. The second thing will happen, Ashish, people who are not a right fit for this job role, they will realize very early, because many of the industry joiner, as rightly picked up by Goldie in the earlier discussion, कि अभी करके देख लेते हैं, कुछ नौकरी है, ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं, बाद में देख लेंगे क्या करना है. Because they think कि I have to carry a bag, give some samples to the doctor, and I say, please sir, prescribe, and I will leave. But that is not selling. At base, it can be telling. Telling is not selling, Ashish. So you will get your the who are not ready for, not fit for this job also get cleaned up over here. And when you need the right people with the right kind of package, and industry will also realize the return is so good. Actually, as an industry, we are being benefited getting the right people for this right job. Otherwise, I personally I believe, Ashish, there's a huge loss of money in the form of salary where that guy is there or not doesn't matter for the business what is coming right now, because some of the big brands goes on their own. So I think this is the point what I'm trying to make over here. A selling skill, psychological art of selling should be induced very early in the career, and if not from the very induction point itself.
Great. So I think you are proposing a approach which is completely a mind shift, and you're taking some learnings from the other industries, be it the IT industry or the startup world, where they are providing a lot of flexibility, good pay scale.
No, Ashish, I have no idea. I'm taking these ideas from my life.
True.
On the fourth month of a joint field work with my first area manager, he told me I was in the industry of diabetes and insulin injections. So he told me कि मोइना तू मुस्कुराता क्यों नहीं है डॉक्टर के सामने, तो इतना सीरियस क्यों बना रहता है? मैं भी मुड़ा उनके तरफ। मैं सेड बॉस, डायबिटीज में मुस्कुराने वाली क्या बात है, इंसुलिन लग रहा है लोगों को। और बॉस भी कुछ बोल नहीं पाए मुझे, ही वाज अबैक। फिर मुझे बाहर जाके बोला, मोइना क्या एक बात बताऊं तेरे को? मैंने हाँ सर बोलिए ना। कि डॉक्टर बेचारा दिन भर यही कर रहा है, सड़ी हुई शक्ल देख रहा है पेशेंट की। तू ठीक ठाक दिखता है, जाके थोड़ा मुस्कुरा देगा, उसका जिंदगी थोड़ा दिन थोड़ा अच्छा जाएगा, तेरे को क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है इसमें? So Ashish, I refuse to believe him. I thought कि I am a scientific guy. I just learned so much time about diabetes. I should deliver it with so much force and passion and seriousness. But because I had one value system in my life, I do not lie. So I told my boss, okay, boss, yes, I will apply this also if you say so, at least couple of times. And I don't lie even till now, even that day. So next call I went there. बेवकूफी की तरह मैं बेफालतू का मुस्कुराता रहा while I was distilling the insulin injection, its delivery mechanism. I had a device to deliver, and that doctor's response was mind blowing. He became so open, started asking questions. I was so shocked. What is this happening? Why this is happening like this? Then I realized my boss was right. Then I started taking interest in the psychology of selling. Whatever I say, Ashish, today or anytime from my life experience, I do not have much knowledge about the other industry actually.
Right. So I think that was the pretext which Menon told us when we invited him for being our co-speaker. He told Ashish, I'll not prepare any content. I will not prepare any PPT, but I can speak from my heart. And we were more than happy. We told, yes, sir, our participants are also not interested in PPT Gyan, theory Gyan, but they would like to hear from the inside. So that's the main reason we have Menant with us today, being a part of our speaker. And with that, we would like to now ask the second question, which is, what is the career path for a current medical rep? We have two speakers with us today, Goldie and Menant, who started their career. Honestly, Goldie, I was not aware that you have started your career as a medical rep. You have started your career as a medical rep. Menant has started his life as a medical rep, and I know how difficult it is because you do anything and everything with a lot of passion, and the expectation from the head office is humongous. They believe you that you are a Superman, Batman, and whatnot. So coming back, what exactly is the career growth for a medical rep? Yes, he's going the hard way. What exactly do you feel are the jobs which are going to get automated, but how exactly he can evolve himself and in going up the ladder in any pharma company or being a owner of the pharma companies? You have seen the journey, you have been there. So we'd like to hear from you, Goldie, and then obviously with Panal, what exactly is it that a person can fast track his journey, understanding the current challenges that he's facing with regard to technology and with regard to disruptions which are happening. So Goldie, over to you.
Well, I think as we discussed in the first question itself, where you projected that what the medical rep will not do. I think that's where we started our discussion. And I think, of course, with whatever automation we will do what he is doing, I think the job of the medical rep definitely is going to stay, and definitely it is going to stay for, I'm not sure that how many years it is going to be staying, right? And of course, the technology and everything will just enable him to do his job better. Now, with respect to the career path, I think we all know that as we discussed, that 80 to 90% of any of the ladder in which the people have grown in the pharma, they started their career as a medical rep. So definitely from a medical rep, if you pick up the sales channel, you can be a sales head and further a DH or a CH or a MD. If you pick up the marketing after some years of a sales stint, you can grow your career in marketing. Of course, you can, because I started as a medical rep, then for a year or two, then I did my MPharm. I worked as a research scientist of a medical rep, and done my stint as a research scientist for a couple of years. Then again, I moved up to marketing. Then again, I moved up to BD. So then that's where the journey started. Then again, I took up a rural assignment. So I think a medical rep, to best of my knowledge, depends upon his interest, depend upon his passion, his liking, can nurture into a different segments in wherever he can, because he understands the core, that how this industry works, when he is a medical rep. Now, when he is a medical rep, he definitely learns about marketing, because whatever the brand management team designs, of course, he is the person who executes. So that's the reason he understands what is marketing all about. What Mayank talked about is about the psychology or the sales perspective. We definitely understand what is sales also about. He definitely understands what is a customer all about. He definitely understands channel management all about. He definitely understands how a new product can be built up or a new product success can be done. So I think this job teaches you about a lot of aspects. If you start really thinking that, I'm sure which no other job will give you such a kind of perspective which the jobs gives you. And based on his interest area, based on his passion, based on his success during the course of time, means he can go up in any way, any direction in the entire pharma industry. That's where, because I have seen myself going and changing this path from here and there. I can see many other professionals like me who started as a medical rep, and they are at a different. They are maybe a legal head. I know one of the fellow who was my ex colleague who was a legal head after starting a medical rep. So I think I don't think a medical rep just one traction of sales is open to him. Uh, if he decides, he can be anybody, and anybody in the industry.
Great. I think is a person who is actually exposed, as you rightly said, across various functions of a business, be it sales, marketing, operations, HR, finance, legal. I am legally zapped that the kind of exposure that a person gets really enable him to do anything. I think this teaches him entrepreneurship. So if he wants to start his business, he is completely geared up to do what exactly he wants to do. Mehnat, what exactly is your perspective? You have been a MR yourself, and you are now today a senior general manager in Sun Pharmaceuticals. Your journey, we would like to definitely hear from you. How fast or how difficult was it?
It was very fast, Ashish. Presently, my role is pure marketing, not sales anymore. And I moved to marketing at a much later stage in my life. After 10 years, I was in the industry in the sales. So I moved when I was a zonal manager in Abbott in sales in East with 60 people's team reporting to me with an personal assistant in the office who will do everything for you. That time I moved to head office in marketing role. In the junior most position, no reportee at all to me. I was doing everything with my own hand, but I made that choice because I wanted to learn domain plus one. This is one route. And then I failed miserably in marketing initial 6 months. Then after 1 year, I saw the first phase of success with one product. Immediately next year, I got promoted as an head marketing. In the next 3 years, I got promoted as a category head. Next 2 years, I got promoted as an associate director in marketing. Then now I am a senior general manager for the end. So my point is that it's just like a car. It takes a lot to break the inertia. You need a fast gear. But once you get that flavor in life, then everything else can be made up. I mean, sometimes people think our launching pad was slow, our starting package was low. Nothing mattered after that, to be very honest. But Ashish, I don't think this is the answer to the question you are asking. For in most of the medical rep, they want to become area manager and then regional manager and then national sales manager. And I do not see anything wrong in that because people may choose to remain specialist in their role. But here's the good news. It is very easy for a medical rep to become an area manager if they're doing their job well. I will explain what I mean by that. If whomsoever is present over here, if they promise to themselves, I will know my product better than any doctor whom I meet, and I will never make a false promise to a doctor. I will live to my Lufti's expectation. They will blow the mind of doctors. Their target achievement will be superlative. They could be number one, number two in India every year. And then company will ask them कि बोल तेरा रजा क्या है, एबीएम बनेगा क्या? उसको हाँ बोलना है, बस इतना है. But the problem comes. Commonest problem is that, कि, sir, I do not want to become an ABA manager outside my hometown, outside my town. If you are not flexible, if you are not making India is your playground, enter India. I'm sorry, there is no career in this job. Then you are an MR. Then you are a region. Many company accept that. Many company will wait for that particular vacancy in that particular zone or particular area to make that area manager. Personally, I'm completely against that concept. If you do not have flexibility to pick up and mingle with new culture, new language, new mindset, how come you can be a people manager? Area manager or regional manager is not about being a senior post or handling larger territories. At least 4, 5, 6 more people life and career will be attached to you. I will recollect what Mr. Goldie was responding a couple of minutes back, that if the area manager do not do their job properly, the grooming will not be proper. But the fundamental problem is that at the first place, who is getting promoted as an ABM is the wrong person. You are only looking at sales success, number success to make the next move, while his or her main job will be building somebody else's career. You have to be very good at leadership. So you simplify this. He has to be very empathetic. He has to be, or she has to be selfless. She has to go out of the call of duty. She has to accept diversity. She has to accept cultural nuance in a large country like India. How you can be so sure about it? Who the person is saying, sir, I do not think I can move out of my hometown or out of this territory or something like that. I cannot comprehend that. So the only very people will take that chance, make that move. If you are ready, career is, sky is the limit.
Great. I think it's a big point which you are making here, that you can definitely dive into the ocean only if you leave the shore. So you have to be flexible. You have to be flexible only if you want to climb up the ladder from a medical rep to a senior general manager or a AVP or a vice president. So please be flexible, and definitely the core qualities of being empathetic definitely plays a big role for you to climb up the ladder. So with that, we have a contest now, which is the second contest which is coming for the speakers. And we have just 1 minute. We are going a little fast over here because of the time paucity. And the question comes to you, and this is a QR code. I request you to please scan the QR code to participate in this particular contest. This is based on discussion that we are having with our speakers, Goldie and Manak, which is, the question is, what steps can medical representative take to become thought leaders in their field? you have a chance to win Amazon gift voucher worth rupees 500. The person who is going to respond the fastest and the correct will be getting the chance to win this particular Amazon e-voucher, which will be given to you on your mobile. Once you are done, please type in done in the chat, and you have 1 minute. So please type in your particular response. The time starts now. Thank you. And we also have some messages which are coming in the chat, but be rest assured we are going to take up this particular questions with the available time that we have with our speakers. And this particular questions, you can please park in your particular questions. We have some questions, interesting questions, which are coming in from Deepika, Amninder, as well as Nilanjan Ghosh. I see that you are being very, very active. Thank you so much for your participation in the chat. And other participants also, please put in your particular questions to the speakers, and we will be able to take it up. Please type in done once you are done participating in this particular contest, and which will help us move forward for the third part of this particular session today, which is innovating the future of medical rep. Right. So Joseph, sir, thank you so much for joining in. It is definitely a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, Nilanjan. Thank you, Ashwin. So we have another 30 seconds before we move into the third leg, which is close to my heart, which is technology, artificial intelligence, how this thing is going to unfold in the years to come. What exactly will be the role of a medical rep 3 years, 5 years down the line? How exactly things are going to really transform and change? I was there in a recent conference. I met a person, and he was telling, he came just from the States, United States, and he was telling that I see Indian pharma industry will not have any medical rep. And I just smiled at him and could not take the discussion forward. I thought that he is a little forward in terms of his thinking, or he doesn't know what exactly is happening at the ground level. We are talking about rural India. 60% of the people, we had the last session last month, which we are talking about. 60% of our population is staying in rural India. There are definitely challenges, though the internet penetration is good enough. But yes, there are challenges. But I could not resonate with what exactly he was telling. But we would like to hear purely from our speakers today, Goldie and Manak. So there are two questions that we are going to park to you today, and this is the third part of the seminar today, and we are asking you this particular question. The first question goes to Goldie, and so this is what we wanted to understand. How can medical representative leverage AI or digital to enhance their performance and customer interaction? We have seen in the first slide, he is doing everything, lot of things. And how exactly is technology in company that you have worked in the past and the company that you're working currently, how are you using technology to enhance the performance and customer interaction, which is very important for a doctor as well, that he gets to listen to person who is knowledgeable, and as what Manan was telling, give the right information, so that he appreciates, he respects that particular person. So how is technology is helping the medical rep? Over to you, Goldie.
So I think, Ashish, I think so. One thing what I have learned, I think, whether in my past organization like DRL or current organization, I think first of all, the tools which what we prepare at the head office, I think the orientation and the objectives of those tools is to gather data. I think that that needs to change somewhere because a lot of organizations are focusing upon कि यार हम एक tool बनाते हैं जिससे हमको data मिले. I think that's where not a medical representative sees that. So if you want to really leverage his performance or his customer interactions, I think the syncing of that core objective, what a medical rep is thinking about or what an ASM is thinking about, when he uses this, I think these two are not matching somewhere. And that's what my thing is about, because when these tools are being made, these tools are generally being made from an SFE point of view, from a business intelligence point of view, from different functions, which are not really so much experienced in sales, no much experienced in marketing. And the core objective of a company is to pull data, right? Which doesn't synchronize with the execution part. What a medical representative thinks, that is it this tool is going to benefit me? Because of course, like maybe some of the examples what I can put is Doctor 360. So Doctor 360 is basically what, to understand your customer at a better way. But the way medical representative thinks this is not the way the head office thinks about this, राइट? सो हेड ऑफिस को लगता है कि यार सब डेटा है हमारे पास, मेडिकल रेप को ये नहीं लगता है कि भाई ये डेटा से मुझे क्या होगा, मुझे क्या बेनिफिट होगा, where I should use this data, how I should use this data. So where I should use this data, how I should use this data, I think those parts are not being really taken care of from a pharma companies, and lot of emphasis has been put upon in a way that let's get data, let's get each and every possible data which is there on the ground, right from he waking up in the morning to he going up on the bed, right? So that doesn't will give you any kind of a role enhancement for a medical rep. That's what I feel, Ashish. And once this part is solved, I think then definitely the softwares, the data, what we create, I think that can really help a medical representative to understand the customer in a better way, to predict the customer dialogue when he goes inside the clinic. Because I think in some of the softwares or some of the tools where we used in DRL, where in such a way that before the medical reps goes inside the doctor's clinic, he would get an information that what last article or what last article he read on dermatology. Now, if that gets feeded into a medical rep's iPad, and his ability to read that, his ability to understand that, if that becomes higher, then only this data is effective for him to have a communication with doctor. Otherwise, this is just an information which a medical reps really disown that. He feels that this is something extra which I have to do, and he doesn't take an advantage of a technology. So whatever the technology is being drafted today, what I personally feel is last about 2 3 organizations what I have worked about is not kept in a mind from a medical rep point of view, that is who is using the technology. Now it is kept in a mind just to collect data. The functions which are just making these tools or implementing those tools are little off from a sales and marketing background point of view. So unless and until this part gets solved, Ashish, and a medical rep really feels that this is where the empowerment happens. This is where my customer will be excited once I tell this customer about this insight. I think unless and until we being that orientation, I don't think that whatever tools which are coming in or whichever tools which will come in future will lead up to something what the industry is looking about. So I think the basic is something we need to change that and then work on leveraging any AI tools which are there. That's what my take is, Ashish.
Perfect. I think it's a very strong point you are putting in. It's not about the data, it is the relevance of the data to the medical rep to do his job better. So that is a big gap which you are seeing in the industry. Some of the large pharma companies are able to crack the code, but definitely it's the area where a medical rep would appreciate that this particular data should help me do my job better. So, Manak, what's your quick take on this particular thing? So, after this, we have a last question. After that, we will be having a contest, and that's how we'll be ending up with some of the questions from our participants. So, what's your take on this, Manak?
I mean, first of all, I also disagree with that person who told you that there'll be no job of medical rep, because intelligent people know what they do want, but wise people know what they do not want. And wisdom can never be replaced by any AI. So there'll be always a place for wise people, wise medical rep in the industry who thinks through their heart, not only through their brain. Brain can be replaced. First point is that. Secondly, how they can use AI tools. Ashish, I find ChatGPT much more intuitive than even Google search. If before entering the doctor's call, if a medical rep can just search a question on how to respond to that in a doctor's clinic, ChatGPT can give wonderful ideas.
Mm.
That's one example I'm just giving you. The biggest advantage AI tools can have in their life is a very commonly found problem in the industry. Whatever we discuss in head office, if we need some data, we create an Excel, we send it back to the sales team. Please work it out. And then the second line manager goes to first line medical rep. They leave their actual job, core job, and they start filling the data. With the better data management, better AI tool, I think if the head office can manage this kind of tools better, it will free up time in the medical representative life to do the real work what they are supposed to do. That is the third big point I think I would like to highlight. Fourth one, I think an automated reminders. Uh, I think relationship is a great facet in between the medical rep and the doctor. Wishing them on the right time, on the right occasion, on the right moment, or remembering their important dates, which earlier days would have been very, very dependent on your memory or on your diary or your luck. But with the fascinating advancements of AI, it can be at your fingertips. You can make it so much customized. And the more customized it is, it means your doctor or your HCP is looking themselves in front of them. That is when actual connect happens. When you see your own replica in front of you who is trying to sell something to you. This is a bit complex, I know, Ashish. That is, I need more time to explain it, but with the paucity of time, I will leave it over here. Maybe next time or some other forum, I will explain what I mean by this.
Sure. Perfect. I think we get your point, which is very more important. It's not about the data collection. It's about automation of this particular data and freeing up the time of the MR is very important rather than adding up more responsibilities just for the sake of adding up, just for the sake of collecting that particular data. The last question which I have for both of you is what measures can be taken to improve the efficiency of the medical rep using data analytics? There's a lot of data which is coming to the head office. There's a lot of crunching of data which is happening in many research organizations. Your internal tools, applications is giving you a lot of data with regard to HCP's behaviors, with regard to channel management. So, what are the measures that a pharma company can take to improve the efficiency of the medical rep? So, I would like to give a small perspective. We were working with one of the largest FMCG company in India, and the VP of that particular company asked me, what is the best date that I can go to a Kirana store to get an order which will be of good value. So I said, it can be any day. So you go to any day. He said, no, Thursday is the day that you can go. I said, why do you feel that Thursday is the day that you can go to get that particular order? It said that it's based on my data. I know what exactly is the refill date for every geography. I know what exactly he will need rather than he telling me what exactly he needs. I know what exactly he needs. So is that data available to a medical rep that he goes to a medical shop and he is in a better position to discuss about the things and which will help him get sales quicker. So over to Goldie, what's your take on this particular thing?
I think with respect to the data analytics and the efficiency, I think Ashish, first and foremost important thing is the training part of a medical rep. I think because generally when the software or any data tool is being launched, uh, it's a quick refresher for them कि यार ये सॉफ्टवेयर आ गया, आपको ये सॉफ्टवेयर में ये सब चीजें मिलेगी, बट उसको यूज कैसे करनी है, उसका यूज केस क्या है, ये डेटा का ये इंसाइट लेने से ये 4 डॉक्टर कन्वर्ट हुए हैं, ये डेटा का ये इंसाइट लेने से ये डॉक्टर का एक वाव मूवमेंट आया है, ये डेटा का ये इंसाइट लेने से हमने ये किया है. So I think there is no use cases which are being shown when this data or these things are getting rolled out. Because unless and until you see the use case, unless and until you hear the successes based on this data, what has really uh, been an objective of this data tool and how it has translated to the success, the medical rep doesn't understand that. Because till the time the successes are not shared, till the time the use cases are not shared, till the time he doesn't get trained that how to capture a data. Because if you do not capture a data in a right way, I think the output is going to be totally different. Just to a simple example that all these pharma industries has been working for such a long time. But if you ask me any company, they really can't tell a simple data of RCPA, retail chemist audit. I can bet nobody can tell that this data is at least 60% accurate. Means 60% also is a very higher number I'm saying, right? Means you can have lot of technologies, lot of tools, but a simple data of an RCPA which a medical rep can fill, that data itself is a challenging, right? So when we look about data, when we look about all the tools, we just really fail to understand that are we really making an attempt to first of all feed the right data itself? Are the medical rails being trained? Is the manager, whoever it is, ASM, RSM, ZSM, during his JCC, really putting time, effort, energy to ensure that whatever the system is capturing, is it right? Is the medical rep is doing the right things? So there are a lot of software which captures the in clinic time, which page doctor likes, which page doctor doesn't like. But there are a lot of loopholes in which the medical rep does the detailing and the data itself capturing is wrong. So I think the efficiency will only improve, Ashish, when the right data gets captured to a best of the quality, best of the this thing. Then only the outcomes can be more efficacious. Use cases needs to explain to every part of the channel, every part of the hierarchy, so that they really understand what's happening. I think if we can fix up these two things, then only I think we can have some use of the data. Otherwise, it is just data in, data flow. But if you ask me and bet on any of the data, what I tell you, I will just take a pinch of salt and will think twice to take any business decision based on which the data is coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is no reason for us to collect the data if you want to create a junk and get no relevance or importance for the MR to do his job better. So we are doing this all not for our sake, but for making his job better. And Menak, what's your quick take on this particular thing? What Goldie is stating us, what in terms of how exactly measures can be taken to improve the efficiency of MR using data analytics? I'm sure companies like
I I agree with Goldie that data quality should be good, but I will respond to this question by taking it granted that there's a good quality to analytics. The input is good. Then comes how it should be used. Uh, Ashish, in today's world, most of the time the commonest thing is that, and in a good company, sales rep or the area manager will get in ping that for particular brand, for this particular region, your sales is going down, you are degrowing, you have lost prescriber or prescription, whatever it may be.
Hmm.
My fundamental problem with that model is nobody discuss the root cause. So data analytics is good to give you a nudge, which should push you to analyze your root cause analysis because it does a good part. At least now you know there is a performance gap. But Ashish, the biggest problem is that leadership end up telling, "आपका सेल गिर रहा है, please इसको ठीक कर लो." Nobody has the patience to ask, "आपका सेल गिर रहा है, why?" या फिर your call average is low, why? Or your walk days is low, why? More often than not, I received very innocent answer. सर मेरे टीम के 4 लोग छुट्टी पे थे and there is no action I can do about it. And I wasted huge, at least half an hour to give lecture and give big recommendation, and it was all vain. So fundamentally, What I'm big fan of, good quality data, as rightly said by Goldie, but also what to pass on. Over information, oversharing is a big demon in life. They've already so much to handle with. You please give them what is absolute relevant and Ashish actionable. They can do something about it. Just by knowing it, letting them know and making them feeling guilty is not a very good idea, great idea. I don't agree to that. But there are platforms, there are data points which actually give you nudge to think about your performance and push you to find the root cause and then do some corrective measures on that. It's really the only way MR job can be benefited from data analytics.
Great. So, Madam, you're making a big point here. You are saying that as pharma leaders, senior leaders, you are not interested in the data if it shows you the mirror. You are interested if it can prescribe you the solution to the problem. So, this is what you are interested in
Right
being a
to
pharma
it.
leader.
So data cannot tell you the root cause. Root cause comes from human intervention, wisdom, and your intuitive feeling. System one is the source of your root cause. System two can never tell you the root cause.
So,
So
it
what
really
I'm saying,
depends
data
on
can
the
give you a nudge.
correct.
Don't use data to define a problem. Use data to find a problem. Industry do use data to define a problem. आपका number नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब you are worthless. It is not that straightforward, यार. आपका number नहीं हो रहा है. Can we discuss what is the root cause? Data can lead you to the right zone quickly. In our world, we used to spend hours of time to look at data to find whether there is a gap in our number or gap in our performance. In today's time, we can simply know out of these 5 area managers, these two I need to discuss on the effort level, these two I need to discuss on the the outcome level, performance gap. Otherwise, their effort inputs is great. So I have to have specific question. I will not come with the same typical 10 question for all these 5, right? So it should, my discussion will drive the root cause analysis. I'm saving time on the data analytics, data mining, data digging a lot. Data automation analytics should give me that benefit. Saving time and spend more time on the root cause finding and actionable, figuring out the what the action we need to do on that.
Great. So with that, I think a good point made by Menath. So we are moving to the contest, which is the third contest for you, the final chance for you to win a 500 rupees voucher from us, which is the Amazon voucher. And the question coming your way, based on the discussion that we are currently having with Goldie and Menath, is what are the potential risks of relying too much on AI and chatbots in his role? When we are talking about his role, it's a medical rep role. Please scan the QR code, or we have my team sharing that link to you in the chat. You can click on the link, and we've got 1 minute to participate. If you're done with your participation, you know that you need to type done, and we will help us to take the questions from the participants after this, and we will be announcing the winners as well. And your gift will be reaching you in the form of the Amazon voucher by Tuesday. So your time starts now. The question is here. You have 3 options. Please scan the QR code or click on the link, participate, put your name, mobile number, and submit your response. If you are done, please type in done. Okay, we've got some people who are really quick. Raj, thank you so much. Venki, Vijay Raj. Okay. Ashwin, thank you so much. And as you know, the person who responds the fastest and the correct person, the correct response will get the chance of winning this Amazon e-voucher worth rupees 500 coming your way. Great. And there are certain questions which we would like to pick up, which are coming in the chat. And we'll, because of the paucity of time, we already at 1:40, we exceeded the time which we have requested from the speakers. If we have permission from you, Menon Goldie, can we have 15 minutes more so that we actually can take some of the questions and then close this particular session. Do we have the permission from you?
Yeah. Ashish,
Thank
maybe
you.
about 2 minutes more. We can maybe winding about 1:45 or so.
Sure, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Manan. Thank you, Goldie, for your permission. And there are certain interesting questions which are coming in the chat. So there is one question which is coming from our viewer, which is Deepika, which is how to set up the communication strategy for MR. So how many messages can an MR give to a HCP? What are the most attractive formats that can attract a HCP nowadays? So you have three questions here. I would request Manant. I'm putting that questions back again in the chat for you. How to set up communication strategy for MR? Would you like to give your perspective, Manant?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, very valid questions. Communication strategy should be. So I will tell you the fundamental, Ashish, over here. So normally every call goes as if every call is a new call. Every call starts from the scratch. But ideally, it should be a progressive call. Ideally, you should start from where you left last time, and ideally, it should be sounding like an episode of a soap opera or so, I mean, the serial on the television. So, if at HO and at the field and at the planning and the communication, if they are very sequential in a storytelling manner, it will going to give you the best result. I don't think any one of the industry does a good job with it even now. If you ask me why it is so important for you, Moinak, because as a human being, Ashish, we love stories. We don't care about information. We don't remember information, right? We remember stories. The incident happens to you. You remember it for much longer than what you read in the history book as a date. That is about the communication strategy overall. But the answer can be very, very long. I don't think it will suffice. What was the second part of the question, Ashish?
Yeah. So the second question which is coming is how many messages can a medical rep give to a HCP? Because I understand there is a beat mechanism and there is categorization of the doctors and there is a call average that you're having per doctor. So how many messages can a MR give to a HCP?
Messages, I think she's asking about through the personal in-person call or over on WhatsApp. I do not know. Maybe I'm taking it as an in-person during while she's meeting the doctor. Am I right?
Yeah. So Deepika, we have with you. If it's possible, you can unmute and give us your
Yes,
perspective, what exactly you're looking for. Yes.
yes. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for a delightful and insightful session.
Thank you,
It was
Deepika.
wonderful, first of all. Good to meet delegates here. So I've been in the pharma industry for quite some time, and I'm associated with Micro Labs right now as a senior digital marketing manager. So as a part of my job, as a part of my job, I usually get into the communication strategy for drawing the HCP engagements through WhatsApp and through emailers. So what I usually observe is too many times if we just forward a message or saying too many touch points that a doctor would have. I personally met 20 doctors in and around my place, and they keep complaining that the reminders are too many. The one thing that doctors do not want is a lengthy PDFs. One thing that they do not actually encourage is too much of repetition. So I would like to know that first. So what sort of communication is the best suited for them? Every doctor is so busy today. It is so difficult for them to keep the brand on their minds. So this is why I've actually dropped this question. So uh, my question is, if it is on a WhatsApp and every doctor is available on WhatsApp, they are not ready to communicate with us over any other means. It's only WhatsApp communication that they are encouraging.
Very challenging questions to our speakers. So this is something which I think most of us would like to hear from you, Manak and Goldie, how exactly you are controlling the content and controlling the space of the content to your HCP so that it should not become overwhelming, so that the recipients also regard what exactly you are saying rather than becoming irritative about it. So please give us your perspective. You're serving large pharma companies. How do you do it? What's the success mantra behind this?
Uh, so basically, what I use is a short questionnaire format. Till now, that is successfully happening, successfully giving us some traction. I've been using the AI tools to create short questions about the components, composition, then medical related questionnaires, rather than sharing a huge Word documents or a PDFs or research documents. If at all there is a research document, I am segregating it into bits and pieces and making it as a very lively visual representations of that. Till now, I'm able to deliver and communicate with around 5,000 doctors across the therapies, and the traction that I see, even after giving an interactive mode of communication to them, is is 30%. Let me say it's only 30%. So that means they are viewing the content, no doubt about it, but the kind of interaction that is happening is very limited. This is why I wanted to know from the industry experts like you.
Sure. So we'll get that perspective immediately. So we are having very less time. They have given me time permission, which is just going behind, and I have to announce the winners as well. So this will probably be one of the last questions or first questions that we are taking up. And definitely, please park that particular questions to you, and we will have access to Goldie and Menank, and we will get that particular answers to you in the ebook as well, which is promised and will be shared to all the people who are there with us. And please give us your perspective, Goldie, Manak.
So, Ashish, I think with respect to, first of all, the frequency, I think I don't see that any frequency, whether it's a 2 times a day or 2 times a week, or that's a standard what we work upon. I think it's always about how do we segment the customer and in which part of the journey this customer falls in the funneling point of view. So I think that's very important in any kind of a communication, whether it is a WhatsApp communication or an email communication or whichever way we use this omni-channel marketing nowadays. Because unless and until you define a customer journey, that if any campaign has to be started, then I definitely need to define the segmentation, that which are the customers which are associated with me. Then after I initiate the campaign, how are the customers getting segmented, and how the customer are getting responded to the things what I have been driving. Now, based on the different segmentation, this thing, and with the analytics which is coming up, I think there lies the communication. Now, if X segment of the doctors are responding to that, so my communication definitely changes to the Y segment doctor and to the Z segment doctor. It cannot be straight to X, Y, Z, the same communication. So it all depends. For us to really get success, I think the larger role is the segmentation and the journey in which the doctor falls. Then comes the communication specific, which really interests him and take him ahead in this journey. And definitely basis upon the open rates, impression, and lot of KPIs in digital, you can decide the frequencies to ensure that you get a good open rates. And if she is getting a 30% open rate, I think, which is not bad to whatever experience we have. I think that's a good work done by Deepika and the team if they are getting 30% as an engagement or the open rates. So that would be my take, Ashish.
Perfect. Very good point. Manak, what's your take on this?
It will sound very similar what just Mr. Goldie has mentioned over here. There is no silver bullet. Just one extra point over on that I would like to add over there. Uh, it Ashish, 81% of the people between 19 to 64 of years of age in India are there in the Instagram. And screen time is increasing every day, the average screen time usage. And a similar number for WhatsApp or little bit less in Pinterest though. Pinterest at 61%. My fundamental question over here, how many messages is not the problem. People are there, they are looking at messages, they are looking at their screen time. Point is whether you are relevant or not, whether you are attractive enough or not, whether your content is a hero content or not, or you are just doing it for the tick mark, another PDF, another medical information. Problem lies there. If you are good, if you are, in lack of any other words, Shah Rukh Khan of the industry, you bring good movies every week, everybody will watch it. Problem is, uh, what they don't say on our face, don't give me so many messages which are meaningless, not adding value to my life. Last part they will not tell you. The problem is, even if you send only one message in a year, which is absolutely bad quality, even still you hear the complaint. What are you sending me? Why you are sending me? So the answer lies in the quality, relevance, and the practical usage of the content you are using. I think beyond this, I don't think I can add much more value over right now on this question because of the paucity of time.
Yeah, I think it's a great point what you're making here. And Deepika, I'm sure we have got a good perspective of this. To all the viewers, I would request to please scan this QR code and give us a feedback on the webinar, the quality of content that you are receiving today, which will help us do better every month. And next month, definitely, we are going to have an interesting webinar, which is on the KPI for brand growth. So we have got some interesting speakers which will be announcing very shortly. Please be a part of our LinkedIn as well as YouTube channel, and you get that particular information. And the chat boot channel, the WhatsApp is also open for you to be a part of our community. And with that, we would now like to announce the speakers. There's something which everyone is really waiting for. And here we announce the speakers for today's contest. We have got three winners for the three contests, and the first winner is Sakshi. Sakshi, congratulations. The second winner is Amaninder, and he has responded to the second question faster. And the third one is Ashwin Soman. Thank you so much. Please come on video, and we would really like to celebrate your win. And thank you so much for your participation. Your Amazon e-vouchers are coming. My team will get in touch with you, and the vouchers are going to be delivered to your number. Thank you so much for your participation. Really great to have you all on this particular Saturday afternoon to get insights from what exactly the future unfolds for us. With that, we would like to have a quick introduction of what Medgini does. Medgini is existing since 2012. We are a key player in the pharma industry, helping pharma industry to connect with chemists and doctors. We specialize on only three things. One is data, technology, and communication. We help you reach market faster and better. So with that, we have done so many work in the Indian pharma industry. These are our contact points. We are also available in Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Bangalore. Hyderabad being our head office, and we have our representative office in Mumbai and Bangalore as well. We are privileged to be working with Alembic Pharmaceuticals and Sun Pharma in the past, and we are here for what the customers taught us today. I'm really grateful for our customers to make us reach to this level what we are. Thank you so much. And with this, we would like to also thank our viewers on behalf of the speakers for your patience and for your quality of questions, and sincere apology for not able to take all the questions which are coming up in the chat. But we did not really expect that this particular session will take us till 150. This has never happened in the past 6 months. This is all because of the quality of interaction that we are having from Goldie and Menon. Thank you so much for being a part of today's session. And the speakers and the winners, if you'd like to please unmute, come on video, please do come so. And we would like to really celebrate this win for you. So we have got Sakshi, Amninder, and Ashwin. If it is possible, can you please come on video for us? Ashwin, I see that you are here. Amrinder, thank you so much. I follow your LinkedIn post, Amrinder sir, and every post is so insightful. I learned something from it, and I look forward for your post. Thank you so much for coming in for this session today.
Thanks, Ashish. Pleasure to be there.
Yeah,
I think I missed the first few of your webinars, but this was very insightful, and I'll probably make sure that I continue to attend and participate in your future webinars. And very good topics, I must say, and good homework you have done in getting the right content or the right topic or the issue in front, because I think the industry is going through a churn, and it's getting we are in a fix. The transit mode is there, but I'm sure things will settle down as we adopt or reach up to the global level, both in terms of our quality, in terms of innovation, and also in terms of our practice. So there has been a makeshift change, thanks to COVID or post-COVID, so many other things which have happened, probably which have given a thought to the senior leadership in terms of different ways things could be achieved. So great, good work done, and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. And we also got Ashwin and Sakshi. If you can please come on video, and if you'd like to ask anything to the speakers. Ashwin, thank you so much for joining in. You have to unmute. I think you're on mute, I guess. Sakshi, if you are there with us.
Thank you for the interesting topic.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, just one thing which came up to my mind on the first question of availability is that I don't know, this is a topic of brainstorming because nothing is apparently coming immediately to my mind. Should we change the name or the designation of the role of a MR? Can we call it something like a patient support executive, to add some some value addition to the designation? It has been an designation. The words they say MR, from so many years, but there was a discussion about appealing to the next generation of talent which is going to come, and they should look forward to
I must comment,
medical reps as a career.
I must comment that this is going to be there because the future is going to be direct to patient. And if you look at the tools, the patients are more empowered for their own health. With the help of these digital tools, the wearables, your Fitbit, awareness level, everybody wants to have a control on their health. So I think it's not far that where I think there will be more direct to patient already. If you look at West, things have already started. People like to purchase things, brands, at their own convenience. We do it online. They would like to. Telehealth is coming up. The patient wants to meet the doctor at when he wants or he's in pain, and not where the doctor is available. I totally resonate with what Ashwin has said. Is that going further, there will be patient designation change, and the rep will be more patient oriented or patient focused or patient manager, rather than only a person who comes and meets and provides the information. I think even the industry also has to look into it in terms of how your reps can be a companion or a co-pilot to the doctor and to the treatment. So we have to be a collaborative efforts. There has to be a collaboration between pharma, between the hospital, doctor, patients. We can't just approach them individually. They're all part of the same string of pearls.
Perfect.
So
That's
I think
a good
this
thought.
will be really great, and things will move very fast in that direction, where you will have patient counselors, patient concierge, such kind of services coming up. We already have a unicorn which has been built up, which makes sure that you get your surgeries done as per the plan.
Thank you so much. I think it's very debatable, but yes, I see a point in what you are doing. Definitely, the MARs are also doing a lot of patient camps, a lot of patient support programs, which is missed in the roles responsibility, which I have put in the first slide, which reminds me that I should update. I hope it doesn't become a 2-slide roles and responsibility of a medical rep, but he is doing a lot of work and his role is definitely indispensable. With that, I would also like to thank my team who is behind the scene, Surya, Asha, Saleha, and the entire customer-facing team who has really helped us to get the required number of people to be a part of this particular journey. I would like to definitely thank you all. And Goldie and Manan, your particular insights are mind-blowing. Definitely, I have learned a lot on this particular thing. And this particular learnings that we are taking from this particular session is taking a form of an e-book, which is going to be released on Tuesday or Wednesday to all the participants. So we'll be more than happy to share this with you for your feedback, for your perspective. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you.
I wish
Thanks.
you a very
Thank you all. I think it's was really pleasure spending time Saturday afternoon in terms of learning and just recollecting the olden days of when we were medical rep, right? So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Ashish, and pleasure meeting you, Mike. Thank you.
Same here, Gauri. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Look forward to meet you again.